Black lives matter. Black lives matter.
Yeah. Trying to live my life, putting purpose over profit. Too many fallen soldiers, too many slain prophets. Eyes on the prize, yeah, I gotta watch it. Agents amongst us, get your hand out my pocket.
So, may I ask you a question?
Please.
Trying to decide between two. Which will come first? I'm trying to ask both in this session. So, what is something most people have done that you have never done? And a standard that people go, oh, you must have done that.
Standard. Well, the easiest thing that comes to mind, I guess maybe, I don't know if it's a space that I'm in, and maybe I'll have to think about a deeper one, but drive stick shift.
You can't drive stick shift?
Nope, I can't. I've never tried. I've never done it. I hear about it being much better and having more control, etc. But I cannot drive stick shift.
You grew up in New York, so I give you that. The fact you can actually drive. I know some people from New York who can't drive, so I give you that.
This is real.
That's your off. That's your off.
Okay.
But at one point I had a time like I didn't trust people who couldn't drive stick shift. That was like how I functioned.
Yeah. Well, look, I can't do it. Can't do it. So that was the one that was like, I think that readily came to mind. I'm trying to think of something else. That people have done that I can't do or haven't done. You said that I haven't done, right?
You've never done. That's a good one though.
Okay. If another one pops into my mind, I'll let you know. But that was the one that readily came to mind because I meet a lot of folks. I'm like, what? I'm like,
well, a lot of people can, and I'll be happy to give you a lesson or two. The trick is you never teach anybody on your car. Get somebody else's car. You can't focus on it. You be too caught up to like, yo, don't I gotta get home. I learned, I had a friend from college who was in Philadelphia for the summer. I don't remember what summer, it was one summer between college, and Giorgio Chiesa. And when he had like his sister's car and he taught me how to drive it, man, I got yelled at. We went down to the Man Music Center parking lot and I got yelled at in Italian. But he taught me, I got it after a while. Like I got it. It's kind of thing you just gotta, it becomes second nature once you really get it. But it's tricky at first because it's a lot going on. You got 2 feet going, you got your hand, you got the wheel, you gotta look around. It's a lot going on. But also once you get it, you're like, oh. That's good.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that's my standard one that I could think of, at least off the top of my head. How about yourself?
I've never gone fishing.
Really?
Yeah, I've never ever gone fishing.
Well, we need to put that on our list of things to do.
Yeah, and it's just never been a thing that was around. And I guess I was thinking about that in terms of not from a deficit space, but an observational space in terms of what my life was like growing up. You know, wasn't nobody taking a kid from North Philly fishing. You know, I have some friends who do a program now where they do it for raising money for kids around the way and take them out on the boat, go to deep sea. But I've never like held a fishing pole and tossed it out and did the whole thing ever. And I think about that, and it is one of those. You know, maybe I have some friends in Minneapolis who told me about coming out and going ice fishing with them.
Okay.
I'm like, wow, I haven't gone fishing, let alone do some ice fishing. And they work it out. They build these cabins.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
And they stand there for like days. And this little party, they're cooking and drinking. I'm like, they could have their own brown juice fish house. No joke.
That's the spinoff. Brown juice fishing
on a frozen lake. They built a little house in a frozen lake.
Well, the brown juice will keep them warm.
Yeah, right. And they drill and dig a hole and then just sit there and fish.
That's dope. Well, thank God for my grandfather because he is a country boy. He was a country boy from Virginia. So being in New York City, we had in the Bronx, New York, you have a place near City Island where there was some fishing. But then also we went out in Brooklyn, Sheepshead Bay. Fishing. So I got a chance to go fishing, caught some porgies. So I've had that experience. Haven't been fishing in a long time though. I think that might have been the last time I went fishing actually. But yeah, fishing is fun. Fishing is fun. See, this is the key to fishing. Pack yourself a good lunch, and if you can, pack yourself some drinks.
Okay.
You will have a blast. You will have a blast. You put that little worm on the joint as your bait, fling it down, and if you catch something, it don't matter because you got food and you got drink, and you have company. Right. So I think that's how you do it right.
Yeah, that's what half these things are about. It's a company.
Yep.
Being with people.
And if you catch something, you got yourself a fish sandwich later coming up.
Exactly. I love that. That's great. Yeah, and not surprised you went fishing right here in New York because New York is a bunch of islands.
Yep.
Archipelago, I guess that's the word. I never say that word right. But it's a bunch of islands around here, and there's water everywhere and great beaches.
Oh yeah,
boardwalks. Fish all like you see a lot of people fishing in New York, like a lot of people fishing. It's interesting. You know, in Hawaii, there are no private beaches. You can't have a private beach. Every beach is public, and you could fish, but you have to I think get a little permit to go fishing for. That's the only thing they require. But I just think that the oceans are a form of life, a life source for the world in a major way. So I thought about that today.
Okay. Well, a question about that just popped up. Like, that question just popped up. Something in my head I'm thinking about. I'm like, is there anything that you have a taste aversion of, or is there some like food that you just can't stand, like it makes you sick to your stomach?
Maybe not sick to my stomach, but I'm not a good. It is kind of crazy. I remember my father was around for a little bit. I remember being a little kid. He really liked to make liver and onions. And when that cooked, that smells so good. It smells so good. And then you eat it, and it's like, no, I don't like the taste of liver. I do not like the taste of liver, And then here's the other one, and this is what gets me in trouble all the time. I don't really like chocolate.
Okay.
Yeah, like I don't like a Hershey's bar.
All right. Okay.
Chocolate ice cream.
That's a hot take.
Chocolate cake. Yeah. I don't. It's weird. Like I'll eat a Twix or a Kit Kat, or like if it's like one of those Duncan Hines vanilla cakes or yellow cakes.
Oh, talk to me.
Frosting. But even then, I got I can't have a lot of frosting. It's just too much. Or like a Tootsie Roll. But like, it hurts. Chocolate cake, chocolate ice cream.
I hear you.
No, it was so weird because people are like, "What? You don't like chocolate?" Yeah.
Well, it's funny that you said chocolate because one of the things I have a taste aversion to, and I don't know why. I think it might have been because either my sister's Girl Scout troop gave me a bad batch. I don't know, but chocolate covered pretzels.
Oh, really?
I can't. I won't do it. I won't do it. So we have like the flips and all that. Like, I can't do it because I know I had some before. I told you maybe that Girl Scout troop gave me some bad stuff.
That could do it.
I was like, won't do it again. Won't do it again. I won't do it again. I don't care if it's gourmet. I don't care if somebody's great grandmama made it. I'm not eating it.
I'm not a big fan of it because of the chocolate on there, but I do like a white chocolate covered pretzel.
Okay.
But only one. I can't get a bag I'm like, okay, that was nice.
That was good.
yeah. Because there's something about the sweet and the salty.
Well, I feel like chocolate's like beer in my opinion. So I feel like a lot of people tell me they don't like beer. And they're like, oh, I hate it. I'm like, listen, I think that beer is probably one of the most versatile drinks. Like you just have to find which one works well for you. There's just so much. I think chocolate too is like, you have to find that brand, find whether it's milk or dark, and then you can be in the game. So we'll have to find a chocolate for you.
I don't know. Dark chocolate. I've never had a dark chocolate I like. Not one. Dark chocolate, and I get it, my tongue hurts. So maybe a little bit of an allergy. My mother didn't really like it. My sister could take it or leave it. And I like sweets. I don't have a sweet tooth. I have sweet teeth.
Yes.
I love sweets. I love sweets. I'm like, okay, we had dinner. What's for dessert? You know, like I'm not a chocolate fan.
Okay. Okay. Hot
So
take.
strange. So strange. But it is what it is.
Oh, it works. That
It's
works.
what it is. It's what it is. So I want to ask a question about a word.
Oh, okay.
And this, we've been talking about Martha's Vineyards and class and culturation. And we also talked about portmanteau the other day, word from Zorna Herson about how we make up and invent words. What, or do you believe in the word irregardless?
I do believe in the word. I definitely believe in the word. And when we talk about how important it is to decolonize your mind, I think there was a point in my life where I was like, you just said irregardless, you stupid. You just said irregardless, this person's uneducated, right?
Right.
Like I think I got to that point. But then as I got older and more, I guess, in tune with who I was, like even when I started my new job, I was like, listen, y'all, I'm fluent in 2 languages, English and Ebonics. And I wish one of y'all would challenge me on it. We can talk about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So irregardless, it's almost like there are some words you need to drive home a point. And I think irregardless is one of those words. It's like when you know you done messed up, and it's like, irregardless of the fact, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's like there's some words that you just need, because if I said, regardless of the fact, it's different.
Right.
Irregardless of the, like, you know what's about to come. Right. So I think there's some words that we just need to keep in our lexicon. And, it's just like, no, you don't get it. You don't get it. So it's almost like, for me, irregardless is almost like, I always say, nah, I mean, like that's one word for me. Nah, I mean, not know what I mean. No, nah, I mean, one word. That should be a word, just like irregardless.
Yeah. I grew up hearing it 11 times a week. When I grew up, I did not know irregardless was an improper word. I think I probably used it in high school. And somebody's like, that's not a word, like on an essay. And I was like, I thought I had made a grand point. I grew up hearing like Sister So-and-so in my church use it, irregardless of y'all, like it was just there. Like it's such a powerful word. I think now it's actually been approved by Mr. Webster's and is now officially part of the canon. But I yeah, right, exactly. Yay. I think it's you make such a good point that it is you stress that word. When I applied to college, I took the SAT, I took the PSATs and did miserably. Back in my day, the top score was 1,600, and my class average was around 1,350, 1,380. I had one friend in my class who got a perfect score on the SATs, but they wouldn't give it to him. They don't want to give it my perfect score. And I'm sitting here like, I was in class with him, and I could hold my own. Like, what's up? Because I didn't break 1,000 the first time I took it. And was destroyed, and was like, what's going on? What's happening? All this stuff. And so I took the SAT 6 times to get me up to above 1,000. I think I ended up with 1,260 finally, and was like thinking like, oh, I'm not going to be able to go to, and I'm going to fail, and the whole was like felt down. And so I wrote a letter to the Princeton Review.
A word?
Exactly. Come on.
A word?
I need to find out whether. And I was like, hey, let me start by asking this. Do you know what a case quarter is?
Yes.
Of course you do.
Yes.
Of course you do. So my thinking was like, why is it that regatta is on this test and case quarter is not? I've never been to a regatta. I live in Philadelphia. While they actually do happen here on this little lake called the Schuylkill in North Philly, almost blocks away, I was never invited to participate in that regatta world over there. It's never part of my universe. Yet it's a word I should know. So how many of y'all that Princeton Review know what a case quarter is? Let me break it down for you. And for anyone listening who doesn't know what a case quarter is, being an 80s kid, playing in the arcade, video games, you went up to the counter, you gave the person behind the counter 2 dimes and a nickel, and said, can I get a case quarter? And they gave you a solid quarter. And that's the third quarter. And that is a reflection of really collective thinking, really redefining, getting to where you need to go with a shorter point because there's so much to do. Like, that is brilliant thinking.
Yes.
Why isn't that on the SATs?
Yes, that is a brilliant point that you raised. A brilliant point. Because again, when you think about all the different types of barriers that are put in place, willingly and unwillingly, or knowingly and unknowingly, directly or indirectly, there's so many barriers that are put in place for people who are not representative or reflective of dominant society. And you think about these standardized tests, which are not standard at all. You think about word problems, even names.
Right.
Even names in the word problems. It's like, what? Are you kidding me? And it's like, you have all this stuff that has nothing to do with the actual knowledge. But because there's a hindrance of me getting to the actual stuff for me to show that I know, it's a problem. So that analogy that you gave with the cage quarter, what? Brilliant. 100% I agree.
Real. It's very real. And it saved me because I was going down this path of like, I guess I'm stupid. I guess I'm not meant to participate in society at the level that these people are. So I'm just going to take less. And think about what happens in a person's life when they make a decision and everything in the world is pointing to it. If I had accepted that low score, I guess I'm not supposed to go to a good school. I guess I'm not supposed to get and benefit in society. Crazy talk. Luckily, I had people to interrupt it and say, no, young man, these tests are not a true measure of who you are. Yes, they're a barrier for certain places, but they're not a true measure of who you really are. But please, when I did it, I just turned it, I went crazy. I was president of like 3 organizations my senior year, doing everything involved in everything. I was like, I got to prove and make my like resume, my brand, as they say now, look good. And so I pumped it out and went crazy with it. No regrets, but I try and communicate this to people now. It's like, don't let that limit you, what you think you can or cannot do. What you can and cannot do is up to you to decide and how you move through it, and really try and be that voice of reason and support. And of course, kids are going to listen to some extent, but I really try and drop those notes and share my story because it was hard. It was terrible. It was terrible to get like less than 1,000 at a school. Where one of the classmates had a perfect score. I had one buddy, he was a black dude who never studied, but he just had it. Never studied, but come take the test and get an A. He took it and got 1,400. And I was like, like how you do this? But different skill set. He knew how to take that test.
Well, and I agree with that, different skill set. And here's my hot take. I would say that people like me and you, when we take a test like that, because we are critical thinkers, because we look for and not only find nuance and gray areas and complexities, we might be there like, well, it could be, but actually it's a combination between B and C. So if I was writing this test, then time is passing. Then it's like, so I think there standardized tests, I think, are not only for those people who are a part of the mainstream dominant culture or who have access, they're affluent enough to get that test prep, but I think it's also those folks who might not necessarily challenge the establishment. More so the ones who are like, this is what it is, I'm going to line up with it, and I'm going to go through the motions to get through it, as opposed to people who might be like, really? I disagree with the word problem, y'all. Right, exactly. Like, no, do the test. Do the test. Stop.
I've always been that kid that's like, well, actually, I think what we should try. It's like, no, we got to get to point B. I'm like, yeah, but look at that space between A and B. I see a lot going on in there. And people are like, that's not why we're here. That's not what we're here to do. Kind of funny.
So,
yes.
Speaking of this question that you just asked, because I'm thinking every time you say something, I have questions prepared, but other questions just pop into my mind.
Yeah, same.
Like so we're quarantined, right?
Right.
And it reminds me of that question of like, if you're stranded on a deserted island, you have to bring a few items. You're going to bring like 3 items. What you bringing? Are you bringing a specific book? Are you bringing like a specific picture? Like, what are you bringing? You're stranded on this deserted island.
How much can I bring?
You're limited to 3 things, 3 items.
Okay. I think this is like go back to my childhood. First things first, I'm gonna bring a collection of my marbles.
Okay.
I love marbles. I don't know what it is. When I was little, I used to play with them. It meant so much to me. I spent a lot of time alone as a little kid. So that was my little making up games and universes and all kinds of playing my marbles. And so I might want to bring my marbles as like a little distraction, a reminder of who I am. You know, trying to figure out some games, build some forts, some sand or something and play with. I don't know, just to have some fun. And I've been thinking about fun a lot more because in the past I would have been like, this, to work. But now I'm in a moment, especially with the way the world is right now, thinking like, how am I enjoying myself? You know, because tomorrow's not promised. You know, the evening's not promised. So that's first thing first. I find maybe my set of my marbles, and then you know about that book life. So,
book life.
Exactly. So, am I a one book or a selection of books?
See, now I know you about that book life because you asked about a selection of books. One book, brother.
Oh. You know, okay, I think my answer today is, yesterday I would have said I'm torn between Toni Morrison's Song of Solomon and James Baldwin's Another Country. So I can read those books again and again and again and dig deep and pull them out. Invisible Man falls into that spot also. So what I would say though, since I'm stranded, is I'm going to go in a different direction. So I think I need to sit myself down and try and finish this book because it's a tome. W.E.B. Du Bois' History of Reconstruction in America. You know, it's like on the shelf and I picked it up, but yo, the type is that big, and the pages, you know, and it's a real incredible breakdown of the history of like how powerful African Americans were at a time period in the country when they were allowed to just be and participate, and how they just climbed up after slavery was ended, and these from enslaved people were like, oh, okay, bet we can run for office, boom, running things, you know, senators, which, as you know, it was Reconstruction senators, Obama, which is incredible. So I think in Breaking Bar, in interpreting the James Baldwin, the W. Du Bois discussion of Reconstruction in America. And then my third item, trying to figure out if there's like a kit to make brown juice. Maybe I need to invent that while there. My third item.
Corn over, some grains.
Exactly. Some kind of device that can play music. And I don't know if that's an instrument. You know, it can't be electric because I can't plug that in anywhere on a desert island. So I guess I have to bring some sort of instrument. You know, I really am attracted to the you know those little thumb chords.
Yeah.
Thumbs of chords. They make beautiful music.
Yes.
You know, and maybe I'll take that so I can have some music and entertain myself and create the tunes that I want to hear and learn. Try to go from memory of the music I may know and read it.
That's a good answer. I mean, I like your thought process. You know, you have the thing that's fun. You know, I think that's important. You have the thing that's intellectually stimulating, and the thing that will give you like some type of vibrancy or soulful joy in that music piece. I like that. Yeah, I don't know what I would do. I mean, just because you said, that's still everything you said. But in terms of like the fun piece, I think the fun piece is important. What would I bring for fun though? I don't know. I don't know what I would bring for fun. It would have to be either like something that is maybe a medicine ball of some sort. Because if you wanted to, like, you could use it to work out. You could also use it to like do stuff with it. You could use it to sit down on, like something like just as a chair. Yeah. Exactly, lay on it. So that might work. A book. I don't know a particular book. I don't know. Like, you know, the easy thing would be like, oh, the Bible. But no, I think I would want to be deserted and have like a different type of relationship and try to experience that, what that might be like. not having that as a plug. And then, so book. Book. I know Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye is one that was always like an interesting one that I would probably want to reread as an adult because I read it in high school.
Yeah.
But any work from Toni Morrison, pretty much, really, you can't really go wrong. I'm trying to think of other books that like really inspired me and changed my life. Look, what I would do is just blindly pick a book from my bookshelf and just grab it, just take it, because since it's there, I'm like, it'll be okay. So I'll just take one of those. And then in terms of, I really like your music pick. Your music pick sounds great. What would I do? I would have to find something that reminds me of where I used to be. So whether it's an item that's a picture, that's like a picture of me and family, or whether it's like a t-shirt or something that's a memory, something to hold on to. I would need something to hold on to.
I like that. And it's funny when I think of that Zerda Island question, really I think about the little small island, even though with climate change, probably what it is now, I don't think of that small island with the tree. I think about a big, vast land. I can go and discover. That's my dream. That I can go and at least walk around. It needs to take me a day to walk around. I want it that big. Dang it.
I hear that for sure. Okay. I like your thinking though. That thinking is definitely like fun. You definitely need some fun, some way to pass the time.
Yeah, for sure. Well, here's a one, and this is, this is a time of being introspective and thinking, and I asked this question, what are you afraid of? What are you fearful about right now in the world, in your life, or just in general?
I think it's a deep question. I think when I went away on a men's retreat when I was in college. It was a Men of Color conference, MOCC, and we were having a dream party. So a dream party, we all had a basketball. Well, it was one basketball. We were just throwing it around when it was time for you to share your dream. And I think one of the things that I said was, at the end of the day, I just want to be relevant. And I don't know what relevancy is per se, but I want the life that I have lived, will continue to live, God willing, right? To be relevant to someone, somebody, something. I want to make sure that I spent my days and my time here on earth doing something that added as opposed to subtracted. So I think my fear is not being relevant. Not relevant in the sense of being famous, not relevant in the sense of being known, but relevant in the sense of making a positive and tangible difference in some way, shape, or form while I'm here on this earth. And if I don't do that, that's the thing that fear, like I'm afraid of. So every time I'm thinking about like new opportunities or what my next step might be in my career, or if I'm going to say yes to something, I'm always thinking about that. Does it make sense? Is it going to add to someone's life? Is it going to add to my life? So I think that's one of the things that I'm fearful of. Most immediately though, like if I take faith out of it, most immediately, I'm afraid of dumb people who do dumb stuff. And I don't think I need to say more stuff about that. I think you get what I'm saying. I'm just afraid of dumb people who do dumb stuff.
That affect us all.
Oof. Because it's just so much that you have to clean up.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you can't control everything.
Yeah.
You can only hope and pray that, some things get worked out. But for me, it's really, I want to make sure that I'm living a life of meaning and purpose that is not selfish, it's more so selfless, but at the same time, it's fulfilling. About yourself? That's a deep question, man.
That's great. I think, it's funny because when you started saying relevant, I was thinking, oh, maybe that's another way I'm thinking about this. because my way, if I have to verbalize and identify it, would be like an what's what I'm looking for, like an ultimate solitude,
Mm-hmm.
you know, where it's a solitude that can't be interrupted, that's forced upon, and that you can't pull out of that. I think some people, when I say that, I think some people actually do that intellectually, out of fear and all kinds of things. They put themselves in that situation of ultimate solitude. Um, and I think that's what I think about in terms of building relationships and having connections, you know, because you can build that world of solitude around you and not know how to escape it and not believe you can escape it. And also being told that is what you must have. So I think that's something that I think I've become fearful of, and also very aware of how I move through it,
Mm.
you know, and think about life choices I make and situations I put myself in and things I don't participate in and avoid. And have to check myself, are you going down that path of solitude? You know, are you going to that total path of, you know, complete isolation? Are you taking a solipsistic approach to just cutting everything off? You know, are you doing that? And I really like the idea. That's important. That's fear. I'm very fearful of that.
Mm.
And I think this experience right now makes you think about it. When we are isolated and we're alone, but I've been having more, even though they're digital, more connections with people than I think I've had. Because I'm so like go talking from 1,000 people and then like need to go retreat and sit in my hotel room by myself, my house by myself, by myself, and be away because everybody's coming and wanting something. And I think that I'm becoming very aware that I love doing that, but I have to reprogram it because I do it to a way where I turn it on so high that I have nothing left. And I've been thinking about what does it mean to build some sort of connection with someone, so when I come out of that, I can share,
Mm.
talk about how we both have grown. You know, like that's what I think that's what I'm thinking. I've been thinking about that. That's what I think I need and want in my life, my existence. I've really been thinking of that a lot
Mm.
lately. That's
Well, wow, that's deep. That's really deep. And honestly, that's really the question I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you the question about, because you know earlier in our first session together, we talked about what have we learned about ourselves during this COVID-19 era, right? And I was going to ask you, like, did you learn any new insights? But it seems like that's the stuff you've been reflecting upon. And you know, those are things I've been reflecting upon too, in terms of what really brings me joy.
mm-hmm.
Like, because to be honest with you, like being separated from the students that I care about so much, and doing the work, but not necessarily seeing the benefit of that work because I don't see them,
Right.
has been something that I'm like, do I really want to do this? Because there's ways I can benefit those students without doing this that would bring me more joy.
Mm.
So I'm thinking about situations like this right here, us having conversation that we can share with other people that really can still encourage people to understand and have experiences that we've had without necessarily being in those spaces that they're in, right?
Mm.
I think about that. And I think about what can I do to free up my time to do even more of this, as opposed to not doing this too often because we're running and we're grinding and we're doing all the other things that we need to do. So we can't do this work, I think feeds us in order for us to feed others. So I've been really thinking about that.
Yeah, those are big questions. So huge questions that are important to wrestle with and try and find our way through. Yeah, I have been. I've been thinking a lot. For one, I'm in my place by myself,
Mm-hmm.
which gives you time. There's a great line that speaks to that solitude that is fearful. By Maya Angelou. She starts her book of essays, getting married and celebrating Christmas, something like that. It was Maya Angelou book, Getting Married in the title. But one of her essays starts, I've been in Sorrow's kitchen and licked all the pots and pans.
Mm.
You know, and just like that statement of she's speaking so much about like the culture and existing as an African American in this world, and you know, we get stuck in that kitchen and, oh, let me make sure that was my Angela, not Zora Neale Hurston. That's my Angela. I don't want to mix up the two. That's to rewind. Zora at your dinner at the dinner.
Yo,
What? Zora would be like entertainment number one.
you would be cutting up.
Oh my gosh, she'd be amazing. She'd be amazing. It would be an all-night dinner.
She would be
tired. I got to talk about.
what? Her and James Baldwin?
Oh, forget about it. And you know, Zora, if anybody drank brown juice, you know Zora was like
You already know. She probably got her own moonshine. She bringing it over.
Exactly. I made this for the party. What's up? And put her feet up on the table. But I think that whole line, that notion of being in Sorrow's kitchen, I really do believe this is a choice. It's a choice we have to be in these places and spaces. We may find ourselves in them and it feels hard and we're trapped, but at the end of the day, we are, Jean-Paul Sartre said it, we are our choices. Now, I really believe that. I really, really believe that. And we sometimes forget that and find ourselves in spaces and spots and situations and experiences and with people. It's like, how did I get here? Like, you chose to be here. Now, what you going to do about it? Own the experience, own the process, own the journey, and decide how you're going to move forward. I really believe in living with that and walking with that, and just being. I really want to be brutally honest with myself. You know, and that's hard to do. It's hard to do. We do not live in a world that asks us. Actually, it pushes us in a different direction. But we don't want to be brutally honest. We want to go to other space that's safer, and not challenging, and just easier to comprehend, and it has a softer impact upon the world and people we interact with. And I want to challenge that notion and try and be different.
You know, I love that, and I love the fact that you said, you know, like lifting that up, that we are our choices. I think sometimes we try to separate ourselves from our choices, or say that, you know, like what I say often, I say that to me, life is about choices and consequences of said choices. Realizing that we all don't have the same amount of choices or options. And also realizing that sometimes not making a choice is a choice. So really thinking about that. So every time when I talk about the work that I do, I often talk about that. Like, life is really about choices and consequences of said choices, realizing that some of us are privileged enough to have more choices or decision-making power than others. And even not making a choice is a choice. All that complexity. But I love that piece of we are our choices.
It's real. It's very real.
And I think, like you said, sitting down in a space where you have to think about all the choices you made and what choices might be on the horizon for you, particularly in this time, is important. And, you know, I would encourage people to really sit down and have a conversation with themselves, an open and honest conversation with themselves, and think about, what choices do I have before me? And what am I going to do about them? Because when all this is over, there's a lot of things that organizations, corporations, etc., there's a lot of choices they have to make. And there are a lot of things that, you know what? We've learned that, guess what? Maybe we don't have to have all meetings scheduled on campus.
Oh my gosh, right?
You know, maybe this meeting could have been an email or maybe a Zoom conversation. There's just so many things. And that's just the minute piece of like, what it is. But there's so much reflection that needs to be done. And I hope we don't waste this moment.
Yeah, this is an unprecedented moment for anyone in this generation to be that's on this earth. Like it's an unprecedented moment. We haven't had this kind of pause, stop, need to restructure on all levels in centuries. So no one alive has gone through this. And I think I'm really seeing people, I think now, and this is like the 6th, 7th week, people starting to freak out, and I get it. I get it. it's hard, it's complicated, but we have to take steps, take our time to really think about how we proceed through this. I think if anyone has not changed after this,
Mm.
they need to do some real serious thinking, because
Mhm.
this is a life changing, earth changing, globally changing moment in time.
For real.
Wow. Look at you going on. You know what? I think it's the Crown Royal. Has gotten us this deep. I think that's what it is. That's that magic bag. It's like what's going
Listen,
in my bag? You know
oh, Jack and the Beanstalk. Oh, you got some magic beans in there?
exactly.
This moment of deepness has been brought to you by.
Right.
For sure. Yeah, man. Well, should we toast it to close us out?
I think we should. This has been fantastic.
For
So
sure.
it gets better every time.
It gets better. It gets better every time. You know, we drink brown, but we age like wine. You know, find out what time, and you know, it's always great. Brown Juice Barbershop. Good
Right
to
on,
see
man.
you. Good to be in conversation with you. Until next time, man.
Right on.
Till next time. So Brown Juice Barbershop, we'll holler.
Have a good one.